Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. So I make a lot of money making videos, but sometimes I get methods that just really don't fit into those videos because they are too situational, too random, or viable, but really only like one person can do them at a time. So today I'm going to be going over 15 of the more unique or unknown methods that I have accumulated over the last couple months. So because of how unstable these methods can be, you always want to check the prices of the items ahead of time to see if it's still going to be viable to do. Often you may only be able to do these methods for half an hour to maybe 1 hour at a time before it's just going to take too long to sell the items. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy and let's get started. Coming in at number 1 is growing mithril seeds. Now this is one of the more random methods on this list. So mithril seeds are about 120 GP in the Grand Exchange. However, when you open them up, there is a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting a white flower and a 2 in 1,000 chance of getting a black flower. The white flower is worth about 200,000 coins and the black flower is worth about 50,000 to 100,000 coins. So by opening them up and picking them up, so you can see right here, if you just open them and walk around, they will stay on the ground. What you need to do is plant the mithril seed, hit pick up the flowers, and it'll go into your inventory. You can do it quickly, but you have to get into the rhythm, otherwise you'll just end up with the flowers on the ground. So you want to plant, hit one quickly, plant, hit one quickly, and do that again and again. So from 1,000 mithril seeds, I should get 1 white flower and 2 black flowers on average, which means I'll get about 400,000 coins in loot after opening all these up. It only cost me about 120,000. Now you can open up thousands every hour, so it's actually decent money, but pretty click intensive, and the flowers will take a while to sell, but it's an interesting method. It has no requirements and just kind of interesting overall. You could consider banking the flowers, but I would just probably drop them because it'll take forever to sell all these random flowers. Coming in at number 2 is chopping hollow trees. Now the only requirement of this is level 45 wood cutting. However, obviously having higher wood cutting levels will be more useful. Now the reason this wood is actually valuable is there is some speculation that it will be used in the warding skill when it comes out. I think that's false speculation because they were just using the model of the hollow tree log, but still it's worth 400 GP each, or like 375 GP each. It's really easy to cut, it's close to a bank, and has a pretty low wood cutting level, and honestly it's not bad wood cutting training either. The only downside here is vampires can attack you, but really it's not that big a deal. I'm just wearing some melee defensive armor, and there aren't really any vampires around this tree anyways. The one downside to this is the hollow logs don't sell that much. However, if you're the only one doing this at this time, it's not so bad. I cut about 500 or 600 of these when the release announcement came up, when they went up to like 1,000 or 2k each. It was getting pretty ridiculous. But even so, right now, cutting like 8 logs already was worth about 5k, so really good money making method for that level of wood cutting. And the bank is only about 10 to 15 seconds away in Canaphis. Otherwise, you could teleport to your house and go back through the portal if you're really that lazy, but I don't think it's worth it. Coming in at number 3 is killing Salarin the Twisted. Now, Salarin is located in the nil agility dungeon, which will have a requirement of 67 agility to get here, so it's a fairly high agility level requirement. However, killing them is dead easy. All you can damage them with is strike spells, but they will always hit a max hit. So right now the max hit on Salarin is 12 with Fire Strike, so it's really cost effective to kill. It only takes like 6 or 7 hits. And he does drop the Sinister Key. Luckily, I got one right there. The Sinister Key is worth 37k each, and is used to open the Sinister Chest. And has a drop rate of 1 in 13, I believe, so it's quite common. So all you want to do is kill him, hop worlds, and kill another one. And on top of this being a decent mid-level money-making method, you get decent magic training as well, because you're always hitting the max hit, which means you're always getting 35 or 36 magic experience as well as HP experience. The one downside here is, of course, the agility level is such a high requirement that at that point you might have a better method unlocked anyway. But there's our second Salarin kill. Oh my god, that is so lucky. That was like a 1 in 100 chance or something of getting those 2 in a row. Now the easiest way to get here is to teleport to the Watchtower teleport, go down the stairs, go a little bit to the east, and there'll be some cobwebs. You will need a knife to bring with you to cut through the cobwebs initially, but you will barely need any food. I'm bringing a little bit, but it's so easy to safe spot them. You don't need a high magic level, you don't need a high combat level, really just the agility level requirement. 2 Sinister Keys are worth 75k, easy money. Coming up next is brewing. Now I have a more in-depth guide on how to do the kind of brewing minigame, which I'll leave a link in the description because it's a little complicated. Now the best and most consistent way to make money with brewing is brewing Greenman's Ale. To brew this, you will need 4 Harrowlanders, 2 barley malts, 2 buckets of water, and 1 ale yeast. Now what you are looking for is something called Greenman's Ale Matured. Now the best way to consistently get this is to play the Trouble Brewing minigame and get the stuff. It'll give you a 50% chance of getting a Greenman's Ale Matured, because it's a very low chance of that happening otherwise. If you don't get the Matured Ale, you will get a regular ale, which is worth considerably less. The Matured Greenman's Ale is worth 40k each, and you get 8 of them for a successful brew, which means you're going to get like almost 250,000 coins from a passive AFK brewing method. However, once I put all the ingredients in, which I've done, you have to wait about 2 to 3 days. So it's extremely AFK. It's one of my favorite and unknown ways to make seriously good money brewing. Coming up next is creating Recyclim's Balm. I think I'm saying that right. This item is used to cure disease. Right now, they're worth 3,000 coins each. This is going to vary a lot on what the price is. It's really annoying when you get diseased, so actually having a way to prevent it, people will buy it right away on the Grand Exchange. What you need is 2 items. You cannot buy them on the Grand Exchange. What you need is Snake's Weed, and the second item is Rogue's Purse. You will need to complete the Zogre Flesh Eater quest to make this potion. However, the ingredients are gathered on Karamja near Taibawano. So southwest of the Taibawano cleanup minigame is where the Snake's Weed is. What I'd recommend doing is teleporting to the Fairy Ring teleport and bringing a full inventories of vials of water. As you get them, just use the ingredients on the vial of water. That way you can get a full inventory of about 27 or 28. I brought the super anti-poison just in case. So once you've added all of these Snake's Weed to your vials of water, you should have 27 Snakeweed potions. From here you need to run up to the north and go to the Jogre dungeon. Now you can kill Jogres to get Rogue's Purse as a drop, but I would not recommend it because it does not drop that consistently. Once you're at the dungeon, go down and you want to run a little bit to the south. Now what you're looking for is the little green spots on the wall. Now the Jogres will attack you, however they don't aggro very far away, so you can actually just run up here and start searching the wall. Now it takes a while once again, but as soon as you get them, just add them to the potions, and the potion is worth about 4k each. Now you probably want to sell the Recyclim's Balm 4, so you're going to get about 23 or 22 4-dose potions, which will be worth about 75k per inventory at the current prices. Very good for a method that does not require any starting cash. You can pick up all the ingredients pretty much, and only a few quest requirements. Coming in at number 6 is killing brine rats. Now brine rats have a requirement of just the quest Olaf's quest, as well as mid-level combat stats. You'll probably be good with 60 attack, strength, and defense, or you could even kill them with ranged. All you need to go is to the Fairy Ring DKS, go a little bit north, and dig right before the snowy tree. You will need a spade for that. Now the reason brine rats are so good is because they drop the brine saber, which is worth about 600,000 coins. But more than that, they have very consistent drops of raw food, runes, and other items that are all noted and stackable. On top of that, they're very easy to kill. They do not have that much HP, and you can get them as a Slayer task. So if you get them on a Slayer task, you'll be doing even more damage. Now, this method will always be better, assuming that the Brine Saber is higher up in price. The Brine Saber has a drop rate of about 1 in 512, which means you could get one probably every 2 or 3 hours, depending on your combat level. However, the consistent drops alone must add up to 200 or 300k an hour, which is extremely good for such a low level monster. One last requirement is you actually need 47 Slayer to kill them, which is a pretty low Slayer requirement considering the amount of GP per hour that you can actually get from this monster. I swear when the Brine Saber was worth 800k last week, they may have actually been more profitable than Skeletal Wyverns. It's hard to say though. So you remember how earlier we were killing Salarin the Twisted for the Sinister Keys? Well, coming in at number 7 is opening the Sinister Chest. Opening a Sinister Key right now is getting you about 3k per key that you open. What you're going to get is a bunch of different herbs. Now they're all noted, so you can bring about 15 to 20 keys if you have them at a time and open them all up. So it's actually quite good at GP per hour. Now getting the Sinister Keys can take quite a while because not that many people are killing Salarin or the Chaos Fanatic, or whatever else you get the keys from. You just need to go into the Agility Dungeon as if you're going to kill a Salarin Twisted, but even closer is this pipe you go through, and from here you just open up the Sinister Chest. Now it takes a little while to go through the animation of opening the chest up. You can get poison, so you want to bring anti-poison, but besides that, super simple. You're going to get the exact same items every single time, and you're going to profit about 2 to 4k per key, depending on the price you bought the keys at. So this is one of those methods you really want to check the prices beforehand. Just look up the Sinister Key, check how much money you're getting from it, and the wiki itself will often just tell you what the profit is anyway. Now coming in at number 8 is repairing Barrows items. Now for those who don't know, there's actually a degraded version of the Barrows items that you can buy directly from the Grand Exchange. So if you buy a degraded Barrows piece, you can repair it in your POH for a pretty small fee, or you can repair it from an NPC for a varying degree of price, usually between 50,000 coins and 150,000 coins. So because of this, you can get a decent margin on repairing certain Barrows items. Now GE Tracker does have a section that calculates it for you. Right now, the Guthan's Helm actually has about a 50 or 60k margin, assuming I use the NPC. Now, the NPC to repair it is Bob's Axes, or there may be another one as well, but it's always going to be way more expensive to repair it at the NPC because it's going to cost you 2 or 3 times more. If you do it at your armor stand, you will save a lot of money, but you do need construction levels for that. If we go over here and look up my construction level and select using the armor stand, you can see that the approximate profit on everything has gone up quite a bit. The Guthan's plate body, I could get about a 70k profit on. The Guthan's Helm, about a 64k profit on. And you just have to put an offer in for the degraded piece. It'll take a while to buy, but as soon as you buy it, you can profit that amount. So it's a really safe, slow flip and moneymaker. So coming in at number 9 is buying from shops and reselling on the Grand Exchange. Instead of picking a specific shop, I just opened up the store profit tab on G-Tracker. I'm just going to show you some examples here. Now, a lot of these will only work temporarily. So a good example here is let's look at the hair. A hair right now is selling for 1,500, which is ridiculous. You know, some person just needs it right now and is too lazy to go buy it on the Grand Exchange. So I'm kind of fulfilling people's orders. The store profit tab is a really good section for looking for these random offers that are in, and then just going and buying an item for them. So look, right now we can get the hairs for like 5 GP each or 3 GP each, and I'll just go bank them and buy 50 of them. Now right now someone's trying to buy them on the Grand Exchange for 1,500 each. So buying 50 of them is going to net me about 75k from minimal work. It'll take me like 2 minutes to do this. I'll just pop it in the Grand Exchange. Maybe they'll sell, maybe it won't, but I've had pretty good luck doing this. Other items that people consistently buy randomly is colored robes and hats and stuff like that. You can buy that from the merchant in Canifis or the one in the Gnome Stronghold, as well as dyes, random weaponry and other stuff you can buy and sell pretty much directly to people. Now this is kind of separate from more consistent store shop methods like buying from the stonemason shop. Anyway, we ended up selling 10 of them already for 1,500 each, so we just made 15k right there. So let's go put in the rest for 1,500 and we'll just see if they sell, but it's an interesting method to try. Coming in at number 10 is opening Ogre Coffin Keys. Ogre Coffin Keys can be obtained directly from the Grand Exchange for around 2,000 coins each, or you can kill Skogers. Now it's easiest to just buy them directly off of the Grand Exchange, so what you want to do is withdraw 14 or 15 Ogre Coffin Keys and run down from Castle Wars until you find the Ogre Coffins. Now the reason this is profitable is because every time they are dropping bones. Now, they drop Zogre bones pretty much 100% of the time, but there's also rarer bones like Urg bones that are sometimes valued at 30,000 to 40,000 coins, plus the standard loot adds up to a lot. Now it's really going to depend on the price of the items you're getting from here, as well as the cost of the Ogre Key. However, last time I did this, I made like a mil or 2 mil from opening the 1,000 of them, which is pretty good considering how random and unknown this method is. It probably took me about an hour to open up 1,000 of the keys. Once you get between the 2 Ogre chests, it goes a lot quicker. You just kind of click back and forth between them. You're going to get stuff like rusty swords, uncut opals, nails, all those other junk items, but what you're really looking for is the different types of bones, which you'll get pretty consistently for a decent profit. Coming in at number 11 is killing creatures in the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. Now the main drop you're looking for here is Ecumenical Keys, which alch for 62k. Now the items required to come here are going to be one item from each god orientation, so you're going to need a Saradomin item, an Armadil item, a Bandos item, and a Guthix item. Otherwise, all of the monsters in here will attack you, which is going to make it very challenging. Ecumenical Keys have about a drop rate of 1 in 60 from all of the monsters in here. However, you want to kill the imps and the goblins because they are very quick to kill. They only have 10 HP and 15 HP respectively, and have a 1 in 60 drop rate of an item that's worth 62k, so that's very good. One thing worth noting is you can only get 3 keys at a time. After you get 1 key, the drop rate increases to 1 out of 70, and then further to 1 out of 80. So your options here are to bank when you get the key, or alch it right away. I would just bring alch runes and alch them as you get them. PKers don't come here very frequently, and it is within level 30 wilderness, so you can just teleport out with an Amulet of Glory, so you're fairly safe here, and that way you don't have to bank so frequently, and it makes this method kind of unique and decent, especially for Ironmen. Coming in at number 12 is creating Sandfru serums. Now the items required for this are Nail Beast Nails, Unicorn Horn Dust, and a Snakeweed, as mentioned in the other method, as well as a Super Restore. Now you will need level 65 Herblore to make this, but the profit margin here is quite good. The Sandfru serums sell for about 18.5k, and all the ingredients cost about 15k, so you're going to make about 3k per item combined. Now they're a little annoying because you have to add 3 items together, and gathering some of the items will take a while, including the Snakeweed, but getting a 3k margin per item combination is quite good. And the only item you can't buy in the Grand Exchange is the Snakeweed, which you can collect in bulk, and the second most annoying item to get is the Nail Beast Nails, which you can buy in the Grand Exchange for about 3k each, or you can go do temple trekking if you really want to. However, even though it's annoying, it's actually a pretty good method. Coming in at number 13 is killing Skogers and Zogres. Now, we will need to complete the quest Zogre Flesh Eaters to access this content, and the only way to kill them is either with the Crumble Undead spell or with an Ogre Comp Bow. Now, I made a video on this a few weeks ago, and I used the Ogre Comp Bow. While it probably does more damage, I also have a much higher range level. The alternative is using a Staff of the Dead to auto-cast the Crumble Undead spell, which has a max hit of 8 or 9, depending on your magic bonus, I think. And the attack speed of it is quite a bit quicker. Those are the two main options here to actually damage these creatures. Now, they drop the Ogre Coffin Key at a 100% drop rate, so it's a 2k drop plus a 800k drop, so it's about 3k per drop. And you have the option of just opening up the keys right beside it if that's what you want to do. It's an interesting method. You might get a couple 100k an hour and a decent amount of magic experience as well. Coming in at number 14 is combining Tooth Half and Loop Half of keys to create a Crystal Key. Now, the price of this is going to change so much that you are always going to want to price check the items beforehand. Right now, there's a margin of 434 GP per key combined, which is quite good. Considering you can do this very quickly, you can make a lot of money per hour doing this. Now, the cost of the keys makes us a little restrictive because doing like 1,000 of these is going to cost millions of GP to buy all the items. But if you have the cash, I would highly recommend doing this. So once you have a few keys, all you have to do is bring them into your inventory and use them together. If you leave them in the bottom right of your screen, it'll go from the top left to the bottom right, so you'll save a bit more time doing that. And last up here, coming in at number 15, is creating plant saplings. Now, if you go onto the wiki, these are some of the highest GP per hours right now. They're not 100% accurate because you do have to wait for the items to buy, but growing maple saplings, growing willow saplings are always near the top, and for good reason. It's really easy to do. All you need to do is buy the seeds on the Grand Exchange and then check the margin compared to the sapling. Now, the way you make the sapling is you plant the seed in a filled plant pot and then you water it and wait about 5 minutes. Now, a lot of people don't want to do this, so there ends up being a decent margin on these items sometimes, usually 1,000 to 2,000 coins, but sometimes up to 5,000 coins per sapling created, depending on how expensive the item is. Now, if you have access to the Lunar Spellbook, you can use the Humidify spell to speed this up and just cast it on your entire inventory of potted seeds. Otherwise, you have to use a watering can on them individually, which takes a lot longer. And anyway, guys, that is it. Those are 15 unknown or unique methods that you may not have heard of that actually can make you a decent amount of money. Again, you have to do a bit of research before you do this every time because the prices change so much and only a few people can do these at once, but they're worth keeping in the back of your mind to try out as the prices dictate. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave the video a like. I always appreciate it, and I will see you next time.